Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for the last quarterfinal of the Vancouver Sevens. This one, it is going to be South Africa versus Australia. Now, these two sides played very recently. They actually played as their last match of their group stage, but because Australia qualified as the third-ranked side in their group, they now find themselves back against the Blitzboks here for this one. But looking through at the starting lineups, first of all for the Blitzboks, it is Sebastian Job. Also, Ryan Oosthuizen, Savue Soyaswapi, Shilton Van Wyk, Selvin Davids, Ronald Brown, and Impy Visa. Straight away from looking at the side, South Africa are looking to use their pace for this matchup. Then for the Australians, Henry Hutchison, Ben Dowling, Matthew Gonzalez, Ikanayaki, Jaden Blake, Ben Dalton, and James Turner. We are now kicking off. Selvin Davids from left to right. In the first matchup when these two sides played, Australia got themselves the win by 5. Can that be the reality again? Or will the Blitzboks get the job done? Physicality, the forefront here for Ryan Oosthuizen already, and a lot of pressure in the breakdown. Australia need a clean out. They have managed to do so. Now short ball in the middle of the park. And let's go the Blitzboks, says Lilia B, and the bystander is here too. James Turner goes back across to Matthew Gonzalez. Steps round one. Savue Soyaswapi has managed to get the turnover. Still has that cut on his head. Henry Hutchison not retreating the 10 metres. Back across to Shilton Van Wyk. This is a brilliant chance for the Blitzboks. Ronald Brown goes straight through and scores the early try. Bit of a late shot on him. And Henry Hutchison, bit of a push and shove here between the guys. And a little bit of feeling there. Ronald Brown, not the biggest man, but he's got the biggest temper, I would say, out of that Blitzboks team. Maybe with the exception of Ryan Oosthuizen. That man is a fiery individual. But talk about pretty much showing what this game's going to mean to both of these sides from the get-go. Like I mentioned, they played not too long. Ronald Brown did score it. And then, yeah, just that little bit of a late clean-out from Henry Hutchison, which did fire up Brown. Did the big push. Hutchison pushes him back. And just Hutchison was looking at him so confused, but Hutchison was the one who did the late shot. But now it's going to be the, close to the touchline, missed kick over the ball again. South Africa, another penalty in their favour. It would seem like, even though these two sides played only about maybe 8 hours ago, whatever problems they had, they have soon fixed them. In fact, it was only about 6 hours. South Africa played 200 matches in their Cup quarterfinals. They've won 64% of them. For the Australians, they have played 171, only winning 73 with a 43% completion rate. Selvin Davids in the middle of the park. Now offload, and it has been knocked on by the Blitzboks. Australia have really struggled to get out of their own half. That is due to the intensity and the quickness of South Africa in those breakdowns. Henry Hutchison now won't get to run it at Ronald Brown as of yet. Ryan stays and tries to get back up, but Savue Soyaswapi, I mentioned it just before, though I cut myself off, and that was to do with the strapping around his head. We actually saw him get that in the earlier game where he got the yellow card. Nice quick hands from Australia. And Bevisa makes the tackle over it again. And the third penalty being won by South Africa. They are lightning quick when it comes to those breakdowns. And that time it is Sebastian Job. And there's going to be the scrum feed now in favour of the Blitzboks, who's winning, says PSG at the moment, 5-0 in favour of the South Africans. This is the 37th time that these two sides have met in a quarterfinal. South Africa winning 3 of the last 4 is a stat that has just come up. We did also see a rematch of another group, Argentina versus France, but it was actually Argentina who won that one, so continuing beating France twice in a row. The Australians are going to do that up against South Africa. They have to find something soon. No DNA, just RSA, says Bopello. And it's going to be now another scrum feed. Okay, referee George Selwood pretty much having no time for errors at scrum time. We actually won yesterday, says Highlanders fan. They certainly did. Doing extremely well in their game. The Highlanders, Selvin Davids just gave a little bit of a nod to one of his teammates, and I believe that is to do with where they are going to be going. Ronald Brown passes it across. Chance for Shilton Van Wyk. One more to Tristan Lades. He knocks that ball backwards, cleaned up by Brown. Passes across to Shilton Van Wyk. They have lost a lot of meters, but this is when Selvin Davids is so dangerous, when he's able to use the extra bit of room that they have on the field. Australia looking for a clean out, and they aren't able to get the steal. Ryan Oosthuizen back across to the right-hand side. Sebastian Job goes one more to Ronald Brown. Steps round one. Dowling offload to Oosthuizen. And it is another try now for South Africa. 2 in a row. And they have come out firing in this quarterfinal. How are you, Cersei's Islanders fan? Doing extremely well. Hope you are. Well, also, that is an awesome hat. That guy's hat lights up like the South African flag and then disappears. Like the hat doesn't actually disappear. The lighting disappears, I should say. Be quite the magic trick if the hat just randomly popped off. I'm just coming in to check what's happening. So far, we've seen Spain versus Argentina confirmed as one of the quarterfinals, or sorry, one of the semis. And then the other one will be Fiji versus the winner of this game. At the moment, looking like could be South Africa. Although 2 missed kicks from the Blitzboks means that they are only on the 10 points rather than the 14. So that could play factor later on in this match. Nicely taken by Australia. Matthew Gonzalez, Ryan Oosthuizen, and he's tackling him a little bit too high there. The ref wasn't on the side to be able to see it. Now Matthew Gonzalez. Josh Turner inside ball to Ben Dowling. Getting the legs pumping. Selvin Davids looking for that steal in the breakdown again. Oh, Spain. Yeah, Spain are doing extremely well. And in fact, the 3 sides that have made their way through to the semi-finals at the moment are all of the sides who are tied for first. So, okay, Selvin Davids, George Selwood just telling Ryan Oosthuizen, stop shouting at me. Have to be careful there. You can't get yourself penalised when the ref gets annoyed at you. And see you, bro, says Islanders fan. We will see you later on now. It's going to be another run in the middle of the field. Chance here for the Australians to move up to the halfway line. Ronald Brown missing the tackle. Ryan Oosthuizen making his. Now James Turner back across to Josh Turner. 50 seconds remaining in the first half. Australia have used up enough time here that they pretty much have to score to be still in this contest. James Turner, another great low tackle made by Ronald Brown, and the knock on from Josh Turner here will now mean that the South Africans have the scrum. This is when they can make even more of an impact here. Looks like subs are being made. Tristan Lades is coming back on. I thought he was there for a brief period earlier on. There is a man dressed as a giant koala in the stands. It is inflatable. He is dancing by himself. No one else near him. I am pissed about to go to bed. But here you are keeping me awake, says Fleshin. So welcome in. Hopefully you have enjoyed your evening. Seeing as, it will currently be about 4 a.m, won't it? For yourself, Fleshin. So if you saw his Wapi after taking that cut to the forehead, looks like he is starting to swell up a little bit. After Blitzboks win, I presume they are in the semi-final. Do you know who they will be up against? They will be up against the Fijians. The other side of the draw, what a run that is from Shilton Van Wyk. No one is going to get anywhere near him. In fact, he will score that before anyone else enters the 22 of the opposition. And the third try right at the end of the first half. That is the last thing that the Australians wanted. But yeah, on one side of the draw, it is Argentina versus Spain as one of the semis. And then on the other side of the draw, it is going to be the matchup taking place between, at the moment, South Africa and Fiji. Of course, those type of games can always be high scoring. Two sides that have shown great form. And that kick from Tristan Lades has gone over, making the score now 17-0 at halftime. Now, I'm not saying it's impossible, but chances are pretty low here for the Australians to be able to come back into this game. South Africa, like I said, just starting perfectly, and those turnovers and the breakdown, that is something that will be such an awesome head-to-head between them and Fiji, because both of these sides are known for getting 3 or so per game, if not maybe even more. But of course, they cannot count the chickens before they hatch. They have to, first of all, get rid of the Aussies. One more try would do it, though. And if Australia can score early on in this second half, maybe they have still got a bit of a chance. Blitzboks playing impressive rugby, lightning quick. They're on a mission, says Lilia B. I think the only way that Australia would be able to get back into this game a little bit easier is if this Blitzboks side had a bit of ill discipline and maybe get a yellow card. That would be Australia's big chance. But at the moment, they're doing nicely. No mate, see my round on Discord. Says Fleshin. I have not seen it. I'll have to check it after this one. And come on, South America, I think that is, from Callum. Now, second half, only moments away, but like I said, fantastic half of rugby coming here from the Blitzboks. And OGG Australia says PSG. And Africa says Callum there. Couple people dressed as, that looks like the Lorax. They're fully committed to the outfit by the looks of that. A referee just saying to wait. Australia, they will be kicking this one off. They hardly exited their own half throughout that first 7 minutes. So that makes it hard to win a game of rugby. It's like Maurice Longbottom will kick this one off short. South Africa lining it up, and it's going to be dropped into touch. So an early chance now for the Australians to have a bit of possession. They will need more than a bit, though. We're winning the whole thing, says Callum. I assume that's South Africa that you're saying. But Maurice Longbottom. And have this line-out throw, rocking the mustache for this leg of the Sevens. South Africa trying to watch closely, but they don't throw someone up for a contest at line-out time. Looping around Australia. James Turner goes off to the right. Dowling tries to go through. Tristan Lades makes the tackle on him. Pick and go there. Great momentum moving towards the goal line. Josh Turner having to protect that ball. James Turner plays half. Dowling in the middle. Tries another step. Offloads to James Turner. There's still a little bit of slipperiness happening out there on the field due to the 4G turf that they're playing on. Sullivan Davids, oh, that's a penalty for diving off the feet. Maurice Longbottom says, but he moved. Sullivan Davids goes, I was too smart for you there. You mentioned you're in Glasgow, you Scottish or South African, says bystander. We're seeing 19 carries from the Australians throughout their first half, but they just haven't gone anywhere. Sullivan Davids does put this ball into touch. Yeah, Maurice Longbottom lured in perfectly. I don't know where those accents came from. That was like two different ones while trying to say that sentence. But yeah, initially Maurice Longbottom just diving in off his feet to protect that ball, was expecting Davids to try and contest. Did get tricked. Sullivan Davids throws the ball in, nicely claimed by Ryan Oosterhuizen. Now back across to this left-hand side. Tackle by Shilton van Wyk. Davids. Oh, bit of a fumble there from Ryan Oosterhuizen. Big shot, and that's a knock-on the ground. Referee says play on. Australia not happy about it. Definitely not now, as it's going to be a foot race that the Aussies might struggle to win. Josh Turner, brilliant work from him at the back. He's going to be tackled straight away by Sebastian Job. Going to be called as a maul now. Though the ball has become available. Don't bother. It's basically me moaning about the Timo decision and complaining about how the Irish are loaded. Says question. That was pretty much the gist of some of the comments on the stream too. And to be fair, like the TMO at times was interesting in that game. But now the time is going to be turned off. 4.5 minutes remaining here. Australia have got themselves the penalty. They're only 10 metres out from their line. Just one penalty going against South Africa. The 4 against the Australians. Kicked high and into touch by Longbottom. Yeah, this would certainly be a big matchup if Fiji were to play South Africa in the semi-final. And on the other side, Argentina, Spain. Normally when those two sides play, Argentina do make relatively easy work of the Spanish. They seem to be a bit of a bogey team. For Spain, New Zealand has lost again. Is it time to change new coach, new team? What's your mind? It's a tricky one because they actually looked pretty decent throughout the group stages. Managed to get themselves a win over Ireland as well as Australia, and then just narrowly losing to Spain, who have been their bogey team pretty much from the start. It just goes wrong more times than not, but this is going to be nicely claimed by the South Africans. Now, once again, having the chance to shift this one out wide to Sebastian Job, who has had quite the tournament since coming back from injury. Now, David Brits goes across to Sullivan Davids, hospital pass to Saviwe Soyas-Wapi, who was it early. Kanayaki, that is his first carry, I believe, of this contest, and he was supposedly in the starting lineup. James Turner fends off Tristan Lades. The Blitzboks defence, though, if they play like this up against Fiji, they could be looking at a title in Vancouver. Inside ball at Kanayaki, tackled again. Maurice Longbottom goes to Dowling. James Turner They do still have time left on the clock, but there's not a lot of forward momentum in this Australian attack currently. David Brits, or Donovan Don, in fact, almost got himself penalised for not rolling away. Here comes Maurice, long bottom grubber, and he's going to be taken out. That should be a yellow card. There was a bit of cynicalness behind it from Selvin Davids. Oh no, sorry, it's Tristan Lades, in fact, who got tied up in the legs. And no, I read that one, didn't I? And the South African flag from bystander. Like they've just said, that's exactly what the Australians needed. Yeah, Tristan Lades just making that tackle after he had grubbered it forward. Australia, they still have 3.5 minutes to work. Is this the chance that they need to have a two-man advantage, or sorry, a one-man advantage? Kanayake passes on the outside. One more out wide. Chance for Henry Hutchinson. Cover defence from South Africa is there. Decides to try and back himself to go straight over the top of David Brits, who looks like he's just missed a tackle, and also he's got a very sore head. He bumped his own teammate off here. They might have to check him, because I don't think he's doing too well at the moment. Australia, they have managed to get themselves their first try of the match. And they're clapping from Bopello there. But yeah, I think David Brits, he kind of takes the shoulder or the elbow to the temple, I believe, and he was a bit wobbly trying to still make a tackle afterwards and actually ended up assisting Australia over the line. So I would be very surprised if he continues. That kick has gone over from Australia. Is there a late turn in this match, perhaps? Ben Dowling, he makes his way off. He's had to put in a big shift throughout the first half and a bit. Kick short by Maurice, long bottom. It hasn't gone the 10, but it bounces into touch. They will go back for the original kickoff position. So South Africa now have the option of either a scrum or a tap, and I believe the scrum will be the option that they do look towards. George Selwood, the referee, just pretty much speeding them along, saying, nah, taking too long, keep going. Keep on playing here. Ricardo James Dorate. He's going to go for the tap instead. Now, Tristan Lades will not be returning for another 30 seconds, which means South Africa have one man less for this attack, but they still have enough pace that if they can break through the line, they will score tries. Now, chance out wide. Oh, a big hit. Kanayake. He's slightly rocked himself as well here. That seems to be a trend of this match. A few head injury assessments going to be needed. Ricardo James Duarte trying to go through, but he is going to be tackled by Sydney Harvey. The Irish and the South Africans seem to run world rugby nowadays. You really have to beat teams from those two countries, says Fleshen. Now across here, South Africa. Shot on Xander Randers. 1 minute 20 remaining on the clock. Little grubber attempt, and it's going to be knocked backwards, and it sits up for very lucky bounce, in fact, for Sebastian Job, but it did go to him. Now, Saviwe Sawyer's Wapi. 1 minute remaining. South Africa, they will look to just hang on to this position. They are still playing with only the 6 on the field. And the longer that they can keep this ball in hand, the less time Australia have to be able to get back into this match. Less than a minute remaining, and they still need 2 tries. Sebastian Job, what a tackle that is. And then, dragged over the front. Australia taking the quick tap. There's Sydney Harvey. No, it's Josh Turner. And he will score now between the posts. 30 seconds remaining, and Australia are trying to pull off the impossible. I mean, it wouldn't be a semi-final of the Sevens without a little bit of drama, that is for sure. Or a quarter-final, in fact. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. But chance now for the Aussies. Sebastian Job was not happy about it. The quick tap taken by Josh Turner, who ran for the line. Right, there is a medic on the field. That might be for a Kanayake, if I had to guess. No, looks like it was actually for one of the South African players. But the sin bin time, we saw 1 try scored. In fact, I believe it was closer to the 2, but now 17 points to 14. Australia kicking this one off, and they will not be receiving the kick. It's going to go high. Maurice Longbottom taken by Sebastian Job, who tried to run it towards the touchline. Australia can't get the counter ruck though, and it's kicked into touch by the Blitzboks, and they will win this game. But there would have been a few nervous supporters in the stands, as well as watching from home in those closing moments of the contest. But it is going to be South Africa. They will go head-to-head with Fiji in one of the 2 semi-finals. The other one, it is going to be Spain versus Argentina. So 3 of the sides that are sitting in first place equal are through to the semi-finals, so that will keep them going higher and higher. And in terms of the semis, 9:30 a.m. New Zealand time, so that is 10:30 p.m. for you guys in South Africa. That will be Spain versus Argentina. And then at 10:52 p.m. South African time or 9:52 a.m. New Zealand time is when we will see Fiji taking on the South Africans. But nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, of course, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Our next live stream will be taking place in around 12 hours time. So we actually get a little bit of a spell here, but we will be scheduling all those streams beforehand so they're all ready to go for you all as well. But nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you all for the next one.